Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to do a little bit of talking about how to set up your metal detector and a couple things to be aware of. We're going to be using the Garrett Ace 250 today. It's a fine little entry metal detector. It can be had for a couple $100 anywhere on the internet. A lot of issues people have is falsing, and it mostly starts off with your cable here. With it being loose, the way they tell you to wrap it, as it is here, anytime you hit something, or if you're swinging too fast, this will move and your detector will actually pick that up, and it'll act like there's something under the ground when it's in fact nothing under the ground, but your cable moving and it's actually seeing it. So what you need is just some electrical tape. For the first 6 or 8 inches, come straight off the detector and wrap it right up to it. Some people say to use some tie wraps or Velcro so you can take it off easily. I use electrical tape because I knew it wouldn't come off, and if it did, some Goo Gone could get any of the residue or anything like that off. But for the first 6 inches, just tape it. That way it doesn't move, and your search coil won't pick it up. The rest of the way, just go ahead and wrap it like normal, leaving it just a little slack so you don't put tension on this connector, which we'll talk about in a second. Another thing I did was at the very center here, where you're pinpointing, is put just a little identification mark. This helps when you're searching back and forth and you actually get that signal pick up. It just gives you a little bit of visual reference. You know, if say my finger was where it was at, just a way to kind of pick it up to know where that may be. I put it there in the center. That's where it's recommended. If you get something that's shallow, say 2 inches, it's pretty much going to be right here. If it's deeper or a little bit bigger, it's going to move further back, but generally this little 3-inch area here, when you're pinpointing good, it's going to be in that area. Alright, going back towards here, like I said, we wrapped it all the way up. This connector here, when you first get it, you're going to need to tighten these screws up just a little bit to make sure that they're snug. Sometimes they're loose. I put some dielectric grease in here just to prevent any moisture entry or anything like that, and just make sure this is good and snug. Even right now, if the detector's on and you sit here and wiggle this good enough, you can actually get some falsing sounds from that. So make sure it's good and snug. Another thing, I don't use the armband. I know some people do, but it leaves good enough slack where you can just kind of flip it over and shove it in. I didn't want to take it off just in case I was out in the woods and wanted to use it and I cut it off or something, wouldn't be able to get it. Another thing I would recommend getting is a cover. I don't have one yet. For about 14 bucks you can get one from Garrett or any of the metal detecting stores online, Amazon, things like that. The Garrett Ace 250 and the 350 both are not waterproof, but this is a weather resistant cover. It goes over the top here, and it's also clear, so you can still access your buttons and everything, and just keeps the rain and drops and everything from getting in there. But other than that, that's pretty much how you set up a Garrett Ace 250, and it also goes for the 150 and the 350. Thanks for looking.